we've been waiting for NASA to come out and officially say, hey, there are aliens living amongst us. We've been studying them, researching them for years. And we know the drip and drip and drip of government disclosures that we've seen over the past couple of years. Obviously started with the New York Times piece in 2017, the bombshell report that the government had continued its UFO program for that amount of time. Well, now we're learning this morning that NASA has hired a number of theologians, paid theologians, priests, and others to join its ranks in order to figure out how best to talk to the American people and the world about aliens living amongst us. Why are they doing this? I mean, I could answer it rhetorically, but I'll throw it out to the audience today. Why do you think NASA is spending money hiring priests, theologians, to soften the blow about disclosure, about the fact that we are not alone? Any idiot knows we are not alone in the world, in the universe.
Because if there is this narrative that we exist as humans because of a deity, a single deity, and the mercy of that deity, and which, we'll just call God, right? Because specifically the Christian tradition has a single deity that gave humans life. Mm-hmm. And some people take that very literally, and it precludes any other life forms, such as dinosaurs or other worldly beings. Not all religion does preclude various levels of existence, but the most popular ones do. And I guess the idea is that this would be very threatening to people who were very connected with the literal interpretation of this inception of humanity. Specifically
in this piece that highlights this, as per the media outlet CTI, they described it as building bridges of understanding by convening theologians, scientists, scholars, and policymakers to think together and inform public thinking or global concerns.
Well, specifically, they think that humans could not handle the truth, right? And in this age, I think that this goes hand in hand with the previous story about media distrust, that if we literally put a photograph up of some otherworldly being and had like Joe Biden shaking hands with this otherworldly being, people would think it was photoshopped. It was not real. They wouldn't trust it. And they would not be able to break apart any kind of existing dogma. They would just say no, like straight no,
Are you talking about that photo where he's shaking hands with Trump?
No, I'm not. Oh. I'm not. And I think we're not supposed to call them aliens now, right? We're supposed to call them otherworldly beings or other,
right, yeah.
I don't,
Demi
something
Lovato.
like that.
Yeah. The woke, I don't know. We can't call them aliens anymore. But, Carl Pilcher, the head of NASA's Astrobiology Institute, said that the program is considering the implications of applying the tools of the late 20th century and early 21st century to questions that we've been considering in religious traditions for hundreds of years. And I think to Natalie's point, the Catholic Church already started this a number of years ago. The Catholic Church already started talking about releasing information about aliens and how the dogma of the Catholic Church would be affected by realizing that we are not the center of the universe. Mm-hmm. Yes, world religions would be undermined. The Catholic Church isn't the Catholic Church the largest business in the world? Think about it. They are the largest money-making business in the world. That's a business at the end of the day. They make money, yes. Right? They run an entire country. The world's smallest country is, run by the Catholic Church. The amount of money that pours into that business coffers would be completely undermined. So they need to find a way, I think, to gently say, hey, it's okay. We're not alone. I know we told you that we were in our dogma, in our pamphlets, in our books, and all mm-hmm. of our religious materials for many, many years. Ignore that. We are not alone. And everyone knows that, and governments have known this for a long time, and presidents of the United States have known this for a long time, and world leaders have known this for a long time. Heck, even Ronald Reagan stood up in front of the United Nations and said, imagine what it would be like if aliens came down and landed on the White House lawn, how all of our worldly problems would dissolve, or we would think jointly instead of being so at each other's throats.
Yes.
Yeah. So
no. What
well,
would
that's
happen
specifically
is they would capture
this
it and attack
interpretation.
it.
Yeah, I love all the definitions of God and source creation and everything that's being written right now in the chat room. It's beautiful, but specifically the anthropomorphized God that only has a human form and gives life in human form is specifically what would be very threatening to many people's dogma. And it's just so interesting that they feel like there can be this sort of soft launch, like, let's warm them up for this. I, for one, have been warmed up for this for a long time.
Because you've been married to me.
I'm fine with it. I'm fine with
we
all
all
levels
watch
of
Star
being.
Wars, and Star Trek. So come on,
But let me just ask
here's
you.
the thing.
Go ahead.
This is never going to happen. We're all getting all bent out of shape about nothing. But in the secret depths of space, the Space Force is going to keep them from getting here anyway.
The Space Force.
With our tax dollars in that case.
Yeah.
That's why we gave ourselves such a raise for our defense budget.
We should just point out that this, I'm just curious who in our chat, who watching right now actually thinks that we are it. Like we're alone in the universe. I mean, I can't
think that's
wrap
such
my
a
head
naive
around.
way to think.
It's absolutely naive. You'd have to be completely ignorant of fact or science or physics to think that we are it in this universe. Luis Elizondo was interviewed this past week. He's going to be a guest on my other show on the Paranormal Post coming up soon. I was texting with him the other day, and he just did an interview where he specifically spoke about how the data from people who have interviewed and talked with aliens who've been kept by government sources after Roswell were told that basically the world, Earth, is like a zoological experiment for them. That we are literally at the edges of the solar system, and they have been watching us for many, many years, and they've been here. They've been, looking at us, studying us. That we are, of course, we're not alone. Of course, this isn't it. If this is it, what a sad time we've got ahead of us.
No, this is not it. The idea that we are alone and that human existence is the only level of existence, that actually puts me in a deeper depression than the idea of aliens. Because I don't intend to reincarnate as a human anymore. I'm going to be off planet next life, guys.
Yes,
I've
absolutely.
decided.
Wrestler X says, "Okay, I want to unsubscribe now that you said that." I know I'm joking, but what it was specifically, what upset you? That you think that we're alone? You really think that we're alone? Based on all of the overwhelming evidence about it. And all of these government officials and generals who on their deathbeds admitted to being a part of these programs, who admitted reverse engineering of alien craft, admitted to recovering alien bodies, like generals, colonels in the U.S. military, presidents of the United States. Okay. All right. There's enough overwhelming evidence. The thing about aliens, Wrestler X. Don't worry about it, Wrestler. You'll be okay.
Because
that we're a petri dish.
He wants to be alone.
Yeah,
he wants to be alone.
He wants to be alone.
You want to be it.
He's like, I don't want to be anywhere. All right.
If you think about it, humans is the only level of existence. We can't even fly. We have so many limitations. I got to think that
We
there's
have trouble tying our shoes.
There's got to be another level of existence where it's just a bit more awesome.